Hello,
Dear
hello.
Wayfair, this year I
Let's
want
crank it up.
to say thanks.
Let's
Over
crank
the
it up.
centuries, I've become passionate
Let's
about
crank
home.
it up. Let's crank it up.
I already feel the essence of my future husband all around me, and it's just a buffer time that is in the way. Like, I already feel taken care of. I already feel like I can relax. I'm trying to get to meet a husband. I'm trying to marry to date. I remember this day vividly. So I am putting
Today,
myself back out in the ocean.
that's somebody who's
But
ready.
even though I have that intention in my mind, I am still okay with any outcome when I do start to share myself with other people or another person as well. One person. I don't know. Yeah, we shopping so.
Sharing one's self with another person. One version of that could be showing one version of yourself and seeing what happens, and trusting oneself with the responsibility of response.
When he has. And even, I don't know him. I don't personally know him. Right? The thing with dating.
The only thing I don't really like is that like we create associations, and to me it seems like cheating, and in the playful way, as in like it feels like banter, because jokes to me feel slightly foul, but in a playful way. Sorry. Um, the only thing I don't like is that we tend to create a feeling. Actually, switch it, because I do find admiration in this, is that we use our experiences to inspire further feelings. I like that. I think that that is what's happening.
Personally, no, we have this ideal of them in mind of being creative before we start dating them as we are dating them. And we're making these decisions as we go along the way. So I'm coming into this new chapter open, but not so open to where I let other people get lost. You know what I'm saying?
What are you anyway?
And if I had the idea for this
Okay,
movie about
hold
7
on,
years ago. I
because
wanted to do a movie about imaginary
that.
friends.
Oh, life comes at you fast. Life comes at you fast. And then there was this one.
Let's get into my next favorite creator, current favorite creator. Now, this person, I feel like I'm announcing somebody who's about to come into an NBA game. But our next creator needs no introduction. That she's multi-talented. She does production, like video, sound, design. She creates her own vibe. She's spiritual. She got a great relationship with God. She's beautiful. She got it all, and she's just herself. 100% of the way, and she inspires me on the daily. I love it. I resonate with her on so many levels. She posts.
You guys know how people say that the honeymoon phase is just a phase. It's just all the chemicals heightened and the hormones heightened and the endorphins and dopamine heightened in the beginning, and that's why you feel such a strong connection with someone in the beginning, and then it eventually fizzes away because, you know, reality hits the relationship, and, you know, things just start to become a lot more realistic.
You start to have to make decisions like you have been, but after you found love. So you were on a path, it shifted, but you're still in the motions of what you were in prior to the romance. And it is a merging, but a learning.
But for me personally, I have never, well, I have resonated with the honeymoon phase before in the past, but in this relationship, that feeling, those endorphins, that dopamine, that spark, that excitement, to me, it still lives inside of me. It never fizzed away, it never went away.
So this is where I feel like she just had it. It lives and lived inside of her. Well, it lives inside of her. She just found someone really special who, when she opens it up to them, it blossoms into a fruit tree that she can appreciate. So it's appreciation.
But what happened is, like I said, reality started to introduce itself back into the picture, and you pretty much get welcomed to all of these newfound triggers.
Oh,
Right?
I didn't know you were going to take it there. She said you get welcomed with these newfound triggers. I know that this isn't my place to disagree. I allow myself to explore this thought. Even, yeah. I disagree because I want to say that the triggers were there, are always there. It's just reflected in a brand new way, brand new, like brand new aspect. So, how are you going to handle it? That's the fun part.
I am at a point in life on the internet where I don't want to share too many intimate details about my relationship. I want to keep a lot of things private, but I do feel compelled a lot of the times. Maybe it's a Virgo in me that just wants to teach people. Like whenever I learn something new, I'm just like, I have to tell people about this, right? And for a really long time, I felt like I couldn't really post any videos or like give any advice because I was in the midst of applying my knowledge and turning that knowledge into wisdom. I was not in a place.
Wow. Because knowledge is what you know. Wisdom is what you have experienced.
Be like, all right, people, here's what to do. Here's how to get you moving fast.
Here's one way. Oh.
You really don't know what you are getting into when you are experiencing your first healthy relationship. You really don't know the type of work that you're gonna have to do.
She is a blessing to recognize it. It takes a blessing sometimes. I thank God that I recognize my
When you are with someone for the first time ever who is emotionally available, and not only emotionally available, but also emotionally intelligent. And so in that video, I was like, yeah, I'm coming into this open as fuck. I'm ready, all of me, 100%, right? But I was given the not rudest, because it wasn't a rude awakening, but it was definitely a surprise to me because I had spent, let me rewind, I had spent 4 years single, right? I was celibate for long periods of time throughout that era of singleness, and personally I felt as though I was deeply healing from my past relationships. My past relationships were very traumatic.
oh no! No! Pretty much, she said
None of you are getting paid until you learn to respect
she was healing from relationships, from her past relationships, and she had spent some time celibate for a long period. So clearly she was okay with being like by herself, or at least in the physical sense. She did not have to physically see another person there, or feel another person there, even though in the beginning, at some point, she did feel the energy, the presence, the feeling that she wanted to feel even prior. Three, two, one.
The least bit of peaceful, right?
Wait.
And
Ay.
so I really had to.
Come on. Okay. Okay.
I had spent. Let me rewind. I had spent 4 years single, right? I was celibate for long periods of time throughout that era of singleness, and personally, I felt as though I was deeply healing from my past relationships. My past relationships were very traumatic. They were very stressful. They were very chaotic. They were the least bit of peaceful, right? And so I really had to take a long time to just find my way back to me. And when I felt that I was ready to be in a relationship, to be in a, not just a relationship, but when I felt like I was ready to get married,
How did this beautiful woman know for a fact that she was ready to be married? Oh my word. That is a powerful feeling. Like, it's not even a feeling, it's a knowing that stems from a feeling. That's, that's, yeah.
came into it in my mind. I came into it in my mind with a completely open heart, right? But what really took me by surprise was the aftermath. And I even want to go as far as saying the PTSD that I started to experience in such a healthy situation. And it's so strange because it's like I'm used to being stressed out in chaos all the time. Like,
So I interpret this as, like she said, she had it in her mind to be open, but she wasn't prepared for the particular triggers that entered her path. That is life. If you are on earth, if you are human, you understand that that is life. You plan, and as we see things happen unaccording to plan, and that can only be identified or experienced through going through it, experiencing through it, and then realizing or coming to the conclusion of that was according to plan, or that was unaccording to plan. So all that to say, she went through it with the open heart, as you are, as you have. And here is her experiences in her words.
when I'm stressed, it's already so chaotic. Well, when I was stressed in the past, it was already so chaotic around me that it was just like everything just felt normal, right? Like if I'm on fire and everything else around me is on fire, we're all just on fire, right? Like it's normal. We're all just vibing in chaos, right?
Today's special.
We're all just on fire. If we're all just, it's something that I could talk about that with, but now.
But when you get to a point where that chaos is still living inside you, but you're no longer surrounded by fire, it's like, oh shit, I'm on fire. And you really start to realize what deep-seated pain and what deep-seated trauma that you are actually experiencing. And for me personally, it just showed up in my body. It showed up like physically. Like mentally, I was...
I'll pause on that.